I have the keys to a 1973 Porsche 914 2.0, and I have a mile to drive it and give you my impressions. 914 came in several flavors, starting with the 914-6 and the 914 1.7 liter in 1970. So in 1973, Porsche introduced the 2-liter model to give people a bit more power, and they took away the 6-cylinder model. So the 2-liter was the quickest, most powerful, the top model of 914 you could buy in 1973. This particular 914 is the 2-liter model, which is the model you want to have if you're looking for a 4-cylinder 914. This model has about 70,000 miles, and it is just about all original, no restoration or anything. So that shine of the paint and all the trim, that's all original right there. How you tell a 73 model from some of the earlier models or later models is you look at these front little bumperettes right there. A 73 has them on the front, but not on the back, and earlier models don't have them, and later models have it on the front and the back. And 75 and 76 have big rubber bumpers. This particular car, as I said, has 70,000 miles on an original engine. The 2-liter makes about 95 horsepower and 116 pound-feet of torque, and it only weighs about 2,100 pounds, so it might not sound like a lot, but it should be a pretty peppy, somewhat quick car. Maybe not by today's standards, but it'll keep up with traffic, and for back in 1973, it was definitely a performance car with good performance. 914s came with 165 millimeter tires front and rear. This one has 195 millimeter tires on the stock wheels. So a little bit more grip, a little bit wider. Hopefully it will be a little bit more sporty. In the front, you'll also notice that to refill this car, it has the gas tank filler inside the front trunk. So you have to open the front trunk to get to the gas tank. The 914 is a Targa, so not quite a convertible, but you can take that center roof section off and store it in the trunk very easily without having to fold anything up. It just lies right down there flat. So with that, I'll get behind the wheel and let's see what this thing drives like.
Be sure to log into your YouTube account, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Best of all, it's free to do so.
Very easy clutch. It's something I always like to test out on cars, is how does the clutch perform when you're pulling off from the stop for the first time. And if it's really easy, it usually tells me that the car is going to be pretty nice to drive. Oh yeah, shifting this isn't too bad. It's not the most positive gear linkage, but it's not bad at all. It's a lot better than the last 914 I drove. So maybe that had some bad bushings. So the steering wheel has a very thin rim, which is not something I'm used to. So very old school in that way. Thin and a pretty big wheel overall. The car feels pretty light, a little floatier than a modern Porsche, but still feels precise. And I'm gonna try a downshift. Oh yeah, there's some power there. This is not a slow car, that's for sure. Oh yeah, this is a car that you can, heel toe would be a little bit tougher in this car. You see I kind of botched that shift. But yeah, this is a car you could probably drive flat out and not break any laws. It's just fast enough to maybe get in a little trouble, but you could have a lot of fun full throttle and not really think about how fast you're going. So what I did notice is that heel toe downshifts are not easy in this car the way the pedals are set up, at least for me and the way I do it. The brakes are not modern brakes. You have to stand on the pedal more. I believe that these are manual brakes, so I don't believe they have any power to them. Even though this car doesn't have power steering, the steering, even at slow speeds, is really easy to turn, which is nice. If you've ever been in an older car that's front engine, that doesn't have power steering, it can be a chore to steer around in parking lots and in tight scenarios. Oh yeah, this thing is really easy to shift. So I think the moral of the story is that the side shifter is good. So if you want better shift quality, get a 73 or later 914. And also, because the last one I drove had a side shifter, but the shifting wasn't all that good, you got to make sure that the bushings and the linkages are all up to snuff. That obviously makes a pretty big difference here. Yeah, you kind of put the gear lever where you want it to go and hope it goes into the right place. Maybe guide it a little bit. Yeah, when you're on the move, the steering stays really light. You can tell that the car doesn't have a very heavy front end, being mid-engine. Yeah, really easy to shift this car. Yeah, it's a peppy flat four, that's for sure. Probably roughly as quick as today's economy cars, which is saying something since they're pretty quick nowadays. that's the handbrake. So look at that. So if you have the handbrake on, the car's on, there's a little red light that blinks and makes a noise like you have your clicker on. Car Show is our first rating, and I can already say this will do pretty well. It's a Phoenix red, not a super common color, but it's really bright. It really stands out. When this was parked at the office earlier today, several people were walking by and taking a double take at it, looking at it real quick, and as they pass by, looking at it again. This is a very bright, loud car. You don't see too many in this nice condition, especially if they are original and not restored. This is in really good condition, a really nice example. You know, the owners have not let it rust away like so many 914s have over the years. It's a 2-liter, so it makes it a little bit more desirable. I'm gonna give this an 8 for Car Show because it's just so nice. Daily driving. I guess you could say that this wouldn't be that bad of a daily driver because it has a frunk and it has a trunk. So storage-wise, for bags, suitcases, you can do some of that. It probably doesn't get that bad gas mileage. Being a 4-cylinder, you know, it won't be up to today's standards. Probably drive this pretty far on a single tank. This is an extremely small car. The owner, Manny, who drove this into work today, he avoided rush hour to make the drive and still said he had to get on the horn 5 or 6 times to let people know that he was behind them. Do not merge. This wouldn't be the easiest daily driver because people just can't see you all that easily, it being so low and small of a car. And because it's a pretty valuable car nowadays, being in the condition it is. I'm gonna give this a 6 for daily driving because it would be pretty stressful to put this on the road with the size of cars nowadays, especially in rush hour traffic. Road trip, it will do better because it's comfortable, the seats are comfortable, there's plenty of room to move around with your feet, it's very open for the passenger. You can only have one other passenger, and you're not going to fit a lot of luggage in here, but probably enough for a weekend or potentially a week if you pack light. So I think that this would be a 7 for a road trip, and this is the type of car you want a road trip and take to events like Porsche Parade, or, you know, drive a state over for our cars and coffee, enjoy the back roads along the way. This would be a good car for that. Now, fun factor, I haven't even scratched the surface, I don't feel like, driving this car. It's old. I'm being a little more cautious because it's the owner's favorite Porsche, favorite car that he owns. I want to take it easy. I don't want to do anything to this car that could potentially damage it. But I can already tell it's a quick, peppy car. I think it would be a lot of fun at autocross. I think it would be great fun on a twisty back road. But it's one of those cars with no traction control and with manual brakes that you have to step on pretty hard. You'd want to build your way up to driving it quickly. And that means you have a lot of time to learn and a lot of reward for your efforts to learn how to drive this car, and that makes it really fun. I'm gonna give this an 8 for fun factor. And that's it for my 1 mile review. I hope you like this video. I hope you like the car. If you like the content we produce, please subscribe to our channel. Don't miss an upload, and like this video, and please comment. Let me know if you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me. Did I say anything wrong? I'd love to hear your feedback on this review. And with that, until next time, thanks again.